Well, joining me now here is Drew Perez with TD Beef. Drew, thank you so much for being here. You guys are going to have a busy day here today, but before we get into the cattle, kind of talk to us about what is TD Beef and what is y'all's program all about?
Yeah, so first of all, thanks for having us here. We're excited to be here. I guess I would say TD Beef is kind of twofold. One, it's the genetics that we put into the cattle, which all of our genetics and all the cattle that will be marketed today are all Angus AI sired. All those bulls will be selected for growth and carcass merit. And then the other side of that is, the Tolles family, who I work for, they've been in this business for a long time. And when you talk about raising a feeder calf, and from the hutch stage like they do, they've been doing it a long time, and they put a lot of care and effort into doing it to produce the highest quality feeder calf as possible. So I'd say it's twofold. It's our program and how we raise the cattle, but it's also the genetics as well.
And so talking first on the health standpoint of these calves, what's the advantage that these calves have over a competitor?
Sure. So, we feed out the same cattle that we sell here on Superior, and do a large number of them. We feed out close to 30,000 head on our own. So we want to test the program and see, what we can do different to enhance, the quality of cattle that we're selling. And the biggest advantage that I think we see is the health once they get to the feed yard stage. If we run over 2%, that is a rare event, on the death loss side. So these cattle are processed 3 times by the time they get to be 600 pounds. And then when we bring the Superior guys on and put them on the truck, they make sure that they look right, and when they get to the yard, they're ready to perform when they get there.
Talking about the bull power behind these calves, the last couple years we've seen breed associations really get behind this beef on dairy cross. What are some of the traits and merits that you're looking for that you want to have in the genetics of these cattle?
Sure. So, we do utilize the beef on dairy index pretty heavily. A lot of the bulls that fit in this program will have to be in the top 5% of the breed for that index. And then, in addition to that, ribeye is very important, IMS very important. Than just your regular growth traits, and feed quality, all things that I think need to be accounted for. So.
You and I were talking a little bit earlier about some of the, incorrect perceptions people might have on these calves and what they're doing to the market. What are some of those challenges that y'all are facing?
Yeah, so, when I started working for the Tolles family, one of the misconceptions that I think I got was, this beef on dairy deal, as it's gaining popularity, we were, flooding the market with feeder cattle. And really that's not true. If you really look at the dairy cow herd, which all these cattle originate from, that herd size is shrinking, and dairy cow is no different than a beef cow. She's going to have 1 calf a year. So we're really not putting more feeder cattle out there. We're just making a higher quality feeder animal out of those genetics.
You guys are kind of a new customer to Superior. What are some of the experience and successes that you've had in marketing these calves through Superior?
Can't say enough about Ty, Marty, and Jason for the job that they've done for us. When we said we were going to put 10,000 head on here, I think I was the only one that believed it at the time. But those guys came out and worked their tails off for multiple weeks, and our crew back at home and put a lot of effort into putting these cattle together. So I think the biggest thing is just getting these cattle to the marketplace on a mass scale, like we've been able to do here today, is probably the biggest enjoyment for me.
Well, Drew, appreciate you being here this morning, and we look forward to watching your cattle sell here today. Don't go anywhere. We've got more Sunrise up next.